Let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever wanted to see Fox attempt to make a Disney movie mixed in with La La Land's success and starring Hugh Jackman singing? If you've always wanted to see that, then go and see The Greatest Showman. Because, let's face it, it's a Disney fucking rip-off. Fuck's sake, why do I see these things? What's up guys, I'm Tommy Bowyer and welcome to Movie Rewind, where today I will be reviewing the first movie of 2018! Technically this film did come out in 2017, but for all expenses purposes it's still released and still playing in 2018, so we'll just say it's the first movie of 2018. And that is The Greatest Showman. It's a period drama which stars Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron and Zendaya, and it's about a man called P.T. Barnum who, in many people's eyes, was the first showman to ever come about. And does it live up to the hype? Because a lot of people have been saying it's a really great film, a lot of critics have been saying it's a really bad film, and now it's time for me to give my opinion. Does it live up to the hype? Well, without further ado, let's get into it. Before I get into it, I would just like to say that this is a spoiler-free review, so don't worry guys, if you haven't seen this movie, there will be no spoilers here. I'm probably not going to do a spoiler review on it, so this is the only review you're going to get. So, you know, don't worry, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to hold a grudge, this is spoiler-free, don't worry, no spoilers here. Before I get into some in-depth thoughts I have on the film, I would just like to talk about the circumstances in which I went to see this. Now, I went to see this film with one of my friends who is a movie buff just like me, and we always analyse scenes. Every scene in the film we analyse. And when this movie starts off, bearing in mind Fox advertised this as a buy-up on the P.T. Barnum character and a drama. So when we walked in and we saw 20th Century Fox's logo come up, we were like, oh fucking hell. Because Fox have just been bought by Disney, if you didn't know. So, and then as it went on, it got to a scene with a young P.T. Barnum. And this little kid, about 10 years old, started singing. Which is brilliant. The problem is, the film was not marketed as a fucking musical. So I'm sitting there watching this obviously 10-year-old kid with sound audio on his voice, so he sounds about 30 when he's singing, and it's like, what's the fucking point? I went into this expecting a drama, and they give me a fucking musical. It's a buy-up. I don't think P.T. Barnum used to sing all the time. It's fucking stupid. Fox poorly marketed this film, and that's why this review is going to be not very good on the film, because I did not expect a fucking musical. Maybe if I did, then I would have been less harsh. So, you know what? Fox, you failed this movie because you marketed it so fucking poorly. So I already know what you guys are going to say. Ooh, Tommy, it's a musical. You got to go with it. Yeah, I like musicals. I loved La La Land. I thought it was extremely different and a great, you know, nod to the early musicals of the 20s. But the problem with the music in this film is, it's all the fucking same. There is not one song in this with the same beat, the same sound audits on the voice. It sounds stupid. There is no variety of music within this film. They're all just the same. And no offence, if you're going to put a music on, don't get people like fucking Hugh Jackman to try and sing, because they just can't sing. And also, if you didn't know, Hugh Jackman's Canadian, so they audit his voice so that he sounds English instead of Canadian. It sounds awful. Zac Efron singing is fucking awful. The only person that can sing in this movie is Zendaya, because she has had singing experience. So if you're gonna make a musical, you know, if you're gonna do that Greatest Showman, at least get characters and actors who can sing properly. That is the only reason you're going to make a good film. If you let people who can actually sing, and have a variety of music instead of the same beat. Me and my friend looked at each other about 5 times in this movie like, wait a minute. Is that the same song we heard about 10 minutes ago? No, apparently it's a completely different one. But they sound so fucking similar that me and my friend didn't notice. So, you know what? That lets this movie down. Poor singing and poor acting choices for this musical. Another thing which lets this movie down is that the plot is a mess. It is so poorly paced that it just starts. It just starts and you can't feel anything for the characters. You feel no sympathy for P.T. Barnum's character. It is ridiculous. I mean, if this is trying to be La La Land, in La La Land you had characters you cared about because they built up the characterization, so you understood who the characters are and what choices they were making. In this film, the characters make strange choices which you do not really understand. It is so weird. It doesn't make any sense. The only reason that I actually like this movie, kind of, is because all the actors do share good chemistry, I have to admit. Especially Zac Efron and Zendaya. They really do share great chemistry. And there's actually a really nice musical number between them two, where they're kind of thinking, oh, should we be together, should we not be together? And it's actually really good. So if you are going to go and see this film, I'd recommend seeing that scene, because that is a beautiful scene. But apart from that, all the other musical numbers fall flat, because there's just no chemistry there. You don't really understand what's going on, and you don't understand why they're singing, because they just start singing, and then they start talking again. Then about 5 minutes later, they sing the same song, and you're kind of like, well, when is the song over? I don't know when the song's over. It's like the editing team were just sitting there like this. Yeah, we're going on our break for 5 minutes. Just, you know, fill it in with some dialogue. And then they just come back and then start playing it again. It's, the pacing in this movie is a mess. They really needed to work on that. If they had worked on that, then maybe it'd be a more fluid storyline, which I'd actually be more engaged in, but it weren't. So, you know, I was only about half engaged in this film, which is sad, really. So I think I've butchered this film enough on all these negative points. And yeah, there are loads of negative points, but there are some positives. As I said, the chemistry between Zac Efron and Zendaya is good. Another thing that is good is the choreography. Even though the songs are so bad and so bland and boring, I was still engaged in them because the choreography was really well done. And that is something, that's what annoys me about this film. The choreography is superb. So if they just worked a bit longer on the songs, great songs combined it with the great choreography which was in The Greatest Showman, combined it would make a really special movie. But it doesn't work like that because the choreography is good but the song choices were bad. And another thing which is good is the ending is feel good. You kind of feel good about the ending, you know. It's one of those heartwarming moments, the ending. And if you've seen this film, you'll get it. Trust me, you'll get that the ending is really heartwarming. But an ending does not make up for a bad movie. I'm not saying it's terrible, it's not terrible, but it is so up and down, up and down, up and down with its pacing that even though the ending is quite special, it doesn't make up for the bad pacing and songs that they had throughout the film. So that lets this movie down. So in conclusion, The Greatest Showman is the equivalent to a Disney Channel musical TV home release film. And it was just made by a bankrupt studio that had no balls left and were just basically saying, save us, Disney. We have nothing left. Please, save us! So, you know what, it weren't a brilliant film, but the choreography and the chemistry between the actors does make up for it. So it might not be brilliant, but it certainly isn't dreadful. And that is why I am giving The Greatest Showman a 5 out of 10. So I hope you enjoyed the review of The Greatest Showman, and if you haven't seen it, you know what, I know I've butchered it, but I would recommend it. It is a feel-good movie, and you know, just to see some expert choreography in its prime, then just go and see this film. And thanks for watching, guys. You know what, I couldn't do this without you. You know that, I say it in every video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe in order to receive great and maybe even improved content in the future. Hopefully I'll even get better quality. You never know, it's 2018 now, new year, new me, so I might be able to get better quality. And remember to comment any way that I can improve. You know, I really do want to improve. You know, I know I'm quite mediocre at the moment, but a lot can happen in the year. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in another one. See ya!